Straight ahead on 12 News, another tool in the crime-fighting toolbox. How Robbinsdale police are using technology to solve crimes. Plus, a Hennepin County Commissioner's new focus. After stepping down as board chair, what Mike Opat says will be his top priorities. But first, a new Osseo police chief approved, and the painful incident he's had to overcome. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. The city of Osseo has a new top cop.
The Osseo City Council approved the hire of Shane Michelson on Monday night. Reporter Sonia Goins has more on the new chief and how he's had to overcome a painful piece of his past.
He's been here about 10 and a half years.
Shane Michelson is no stranger to the tiny town of Osseo.
He's real involved in our community.
In fact, some people know him too well.
People in town know him. Some don't like him quite so much because he's had to deal with them for maybe some not so good driving issues and things.
Chief Harkoff is retiring soon. He says he's glad to turn over the reins to Michelson.
I think he's very well respected. They know that he's fair, and he's just an extremely hard-working fellow.
30 people applied for the police chief position.
I think he does seem like a natural leader. I mean, he got endorsements by all the full-time officers, and the current chief, it gave him glowing, reviews of the way he's really stepped up in the department, has really led the department.
But his hire is not without controversy. In 2002, Michelson was an Apple Valley police officer. In October of that year, he ran a red light while responding to an incident, hitting another vehicle and killing the pregnant driver.
It's an unfortunate thing that it happened. I think he grew from that experience, and I think it ultimately made him a better person because of it.
City leaders say Michelson has proven himself and often works with youth in the community.
A lot of the programs through the school and the community programs, Safe and Sober.
Now, the new chief will have a new building. This is the Emergency Operations Center. One of his goals is to have officers to be more involved in the community.
People feel safe here in Osseo, and that's ultimately what we want to try to continue here.
In Osseo, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Shane Michelson will start his new position January 16th. Well, local police say robberies tend to spike during the holidays.
Right now, authorities are investigating 3 of them connected to the Northwest Metro. The FBI says the person seen here robbed the TCF Bank on County Road 10 in Brooklyn Center. That robbery occurred Thursday, December 11th. The same person is also believed to have robbed the same U.S. Bank branch on East Hennepin Avenue in Minneapolis twice, including on Monday night. Authorities say he displayed a handgun. Anyone with information is urged to contact the FBI. There is a reward for information leading to his arrest.
Meantime, Brooklyn Center police are looking for 2 men who robbed a dollar store. Police say the 2 men barged into the Family Dollar on Brooklyn Boulevard and demanded cash. Both of the men wore ski masks and one of them had a gun. Nobody was hurt and police continue to investigate. And Robbinsdale police are leaning on video surveillance to help catch a bank robber in that city. A woman entered the TCF Bank on 42nd and West Broadway Monday night and gave a teller a note demanding money. No weapon was seen. Police say they do have a suspect in mind.
Local police departments are relying more and more on DNA testing to help them solve nonviolent crimes. According to the Star Tribune, scientists tested DNA for more than 2,000 property crime investigations this year. Crime lab technicians are often called out after home burglaries, robberies, and even car thefts. Robbinsdale officer Chris Woodall says DNA helps in situations where there are no witnesses or other obvious evidence.
It gives us something we didn't have before. So it gives us investigatable leads and possible suspects for crimes and gives us some place to look where we didn't have a place to look before.
Woodall says it also helps them connect crimes. For example, when there is a rash of burglaries in an area, often DNA testing will tell police whether it's a single person responsible. The Hennepin County Board will soon have a brand new chairman.
Mike Opat of Robbinsdale is stepping down after 9 years in that role, and today Cassie Bonstrom sat down with Opat, and she has more on his decision and what he hopes to accomplish next. Cassie?
Well, Mike Opat says there is still plenty of work to do as commissioner on the board that represents 1.1 million residents. And when someone else takes over the role of chairman, it will leave him more time and energy to work on the issues he is most passionate about. Opat has represented the county's first district, which includes much of the Northwest Metro, since 1992. He has served as chairman for a total of 9 years, first from 2001 to 2003, and again from 2009 until now. When he steps down, he hopes to have more time to focus on programs to protect the county's most vulnerable residents.
At the state legislature, we're at a moment where we're going to have to look at how we take care of our developmentally disabled constituents, group home policies, work arrangement policies, things like that. There's really a new day dawning, and I think it's going to take some time and attention.
Another major priority for Opat is the transportation. He will continue to work on one of the biggest projects for his district, making the Bottineau Light Rail line a reality.
It's a very important 2 years for the project. We need to get through federal approvals, and we need to have the cities plan the station areas and really take advantage of it. We only get one chance to do it.
Well, Opat says the things he's most proud of during his tenure as chairman happened behind the scenes. For example, the county's response during the Occupy Minnesota movement. The board will elect a new chairman next month, Mike.
All right, thank you, Cassie. A big step toward cleaning up a polluted development site in Brooklyn Center. The state is kicking in more than $600,000 to help clean up the Howe fertilizer site. It's a project that's been stalled for 6 years while agencies disputed who had authority over the cleanup. A fire in 1979 sent tons of toxic chemicals into the soil. Buildings that you see there have already been torn down, and now work to clean up the soil is expected to begin in the spring, followed by new commercial construction. Still ahead, an 8-year-old Maple Grove girl's remarkable recovery after a sudden cardiac arrest and the piece of technology that helped save her life.
And then a little bit later in sports, the Breck boys basketball team lights up the scoreboard. We'll show you the highlights.
But first, dreaming of a gray Christmas? It's looking more likely.
Another reminder to wash your hands after touching doorknobs, grocery carts, and before you eat. Minnesota health officials say the norovirus stomach bug is off to its second worst start ever based on the number of reported cases. The norovirus is characterized by digestive problems and is commonly called the stomach flu. Symptoms can last from 1 to 3 days, but people can continue to spread the virus for several days after feeling better. The holiday season is a time to spend with loved ones.
But this Christmas will have greater significance for a Maple Grove family. In today's Health Check, Delane Cleveland looks at how sudden cardiac arrest impacted this family and what a Golden Valley firefighter is doing to educate people on how to save lives.
Always been my little spark plug, always spunky.
Amy Hallstrom's daughter, Lucia, is an 8-year-old girl who enjoys spending time with friends.
And every day she would play with her friend Lily after school. They don't go to the same schools, and it's just what they did was play every day.
That's what was on the agenda for May 1st until something happened that changed their lives forever.
I heard feet in the house, and it was Lucia's friend Lily looking for me and had told me that Lucia had fallen. And I had asked if she was hurt, and she said she was unresponsive.
Lucia suffered a sudden cardiac arrest, but a Maple Grove police officer equipped with an automated external defibrillator helped revive her.
It was about 24 minutes of working on Lucia before they found a pulse.
Hospital time and a medically induced coma followed.
We were told that Lucia would most likely never communicate with us other than through her eyes, never breathe on her own, or have the ability to swallow.
Yet somehow, Lucia defied the odds and pulled through.
She was back to baseline in all areas by the 4th of July.
Now, this Golden Valley school teacher wants to make sure others know what to do in the case of a sudden cardiac arrest.
I had Steve Baker from Golden Valley come in and train my entire 6th grade class.
It's a familiar role for this Golden Valley firefighter.
Hey, are you okay?
Steve Baker says he's trained more than 2,100 people in the last 2 years.
It's that simple.
Including this reporter.
Stop doing CPR.
About how to perform hands-only CPR and properly use an AED.
Analyzing rhythm.
I wanted to get out and train our community. I wanted to get out and have more AED placement. And that was based off of what I'd learned over the last 18 years in emergency services.
His efforts helped Golden Valley earn the designation of being a heart-safe community by the Department of Health and the American Heart Association.
We'll get a couple of nice street signs and some recognition out of it. But for me, That was not the intent.
Instead, the intent is to help save the lives of people like Lucia and ensure that the family has a Merry Christmas.
When you have been given a second chance with your child, every day is a gift.
In Golden Valley, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
Since the cardiac arrest, Lucia has had a defibrillator implanted inside her body. She now has to avoid competitive sports and keep her heart rate low, but is otherwise in good health. Thankful for that.
Yes.
Yep. Coming up, some of the ugliest Christmas sweaters on display in Maple Grove.
But first in sports, the Maple Grove girls basketball team chalks up another big win. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
Yesterday we checked in on the Maple Grove boys basketball team, and the girls are doing well as well.
Both of those teams unbeaten, the boys and the girls. Yeah, great start so far for the Crimson. With section realignment, the Maple Grove and Wayzata girls basketball teams are now in the same section. Maple Grove looked to stay undefeated as they played a Monday night game at Wayzata. Maple Grove shoots well early in this game. Mackenzie Barta pops a three from the left side for a 6-2 Crimson advantage. Caroline Griffith takes the pass, makes a nice little move around the defender to score as the Crimson bench chips in. Mary Eckberg has a solid night with 17 points, including this corner three as Maple Grove starts to take over in the first half. Hannah Hiring hits a tough runner for the Trojans. They're looking to battle back, and they're within 17-11. But Haley Barker gives Wayzata fits with her defense. She jabs the ball loose, winds up back with her for the layup. Maple Grove races to a 37-14 halftime lead. Wayzata comes out strong to start the second half. Annie Robertson pops a three. They start on a 7-0 run, but Maple Grove regains control. Barta knocks down a pull-up jumper in transition to make it 43-24. Julie Haggard is working her way back from a knee injury, and she scores 10 points as Maple Grove moves to 6-0 with a 66-40 win. A consistent power in boys hockey, the Breck boys basketball team is looking strong this winter too. Mustangs hosting Holy Angels. Both teams start slow, but Breck picks up the pace. Miles Olawa with the quick hands for the steal. He takes it in for two. Henry Cousineau drives strong and hits the finger roll here for the Mustangs. And then Cousineau will get a steal, and he'll find Mo Lowell for the fast break hoop. And Breck is up 38-14 after the first half. Ramad Shakayo Bowman gets the crowd rocking in the second half with a big dunk here for the Mustangs. Will Culleton's having a good season. He'll spot up and drain a three-pointer. Breck rolls to an easy win, 67-31 the final. Breck is now 8-1. Totino-Grace's boys basketball team has looked good at times and not so much on other nights. The game against Minnetonka falls into the not so much category. Off the opening tip-off, Minnetonka's Bert Hedstrom finds Justin Mose for the three, and it's a sign of things to come in this one. The Eagles will score on a nice pass from Rocky Cruiser to Maxwell Walker underneath for the layup. The Skippers can really shoot it. Lamar Miller leaves the ball to Peter Weiss. His three part of a 13-point first half for him, and it's 16-6 Minnetonka. The Eagles break the pass here, sweep behind the back dish from Charlie Jacob to Nathan Kovolak. But the Skippers keep knocking down threes. Miller will hit one, part of a 16-point first half for him. Minnetonka goes 11 for 20 from behind the arc in the first half alone to lead 54-25. And they go on to win big, 98-44. Champlin Park's gymnastics team is hoping to make a return trip to the state meet this season. On this week's Sports Jam show on Channel 12, we meet Rebels junior Taylor Gakeen. Here's a clip from that story.
Taylor Gakeen grew up around gymnastics. The 16-year-old high school student took her first class as a toddler.
I started gymnastics when I was about 2 years old, and I've done club gymnastics, like rec gymnastics, and then now I'm doing high school gymnastics. So it's been a big part of my life for as long as I can remember.
Now a junior at Champlin Park High School, Taylor is a two-time state meet entrant for the Rebels. Last season, the all-arounder helped the team win a section gymnastics championship for the first time in school history.
That was huge. It was so much fun, and we had worked so hard, and that energy has really carried through into this season, which is also fun to see, and it was an awesome experience.
You can see the rest of Taylor's story and more this week on Sports Jam. It airs through Wednesday at 3:30, 6:30, and 9:30 p.m. on Channel 12 and 12.tv. That's a look at sports for today.
All right, thanks a lot, Sean. They're festive, they're fun, and they're downright ugly.
Well, some area kids get into the spirit and don the ugliest sweaters. But first, Christmas is almost here, and Santa is already on the roof at one home in Robbinsdale. We found this holiday lighting display in the 3200 block of Drew Avenue. The front yard is jam-packed with teddy bears on teeter-totters, marching soldiers, and other Christmas characters. We've highlighted more than a dozen holiday displays in the last couple of weeks. We'd like to thank everyone for sharing them with us. We'll be right back. Well, finally, a Christmas scene straight out of the 1980s.
Maple Grove High School students turned tacky into trendy. Tuesday, they decked the halls with ugly Christmas sweaters. But we wondered what made some outfits more gaudy than others. We learned at Maple Grove it's important to accessorize.
My look is whatever Christmas apparel I could come by. I got my lights and my sweater from Ragstock, and they complement each other wonderfully, I think. My nickname from basketball is Reindeer, so I figured a reindeer would be perfect.
And some teachers even got into the ugly Christmas act as well. You hope that they had to search for those sweaters, right?
They're all in on it.
Absolutely.
I like the ones that light up.
Yes.
Those are great.
Good accessories there. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Community Corner is coming up next, but we leave you with the sounds of the season. Here is the Armstrong Chamber Singers. Merry Christmas, everyone, and enjoy.
Caroling, 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 caroling. Caroling, caroling, now we go. Christmas bells are ringing. Caroling, caroling through the snow. Christmas bells are ringing. Joyous, joyous voices, sweet and sing the final chime to cheer. Ding dong dong, ding ding dong dong. Christmas bells.